When do people truly grow up? Someone once said, "You despise the mediocrity of your father, but you don't realize he was once a boy full of dreams. You disdain your mother's mundane life, but you don't know she was once a girl yearning for a bright future." There are things you don't see, the sacrifices your parents endured to earn money so you could have a better life. You are standing on their shoulders, witnessing the prosperity they never had the chance to experience. The greatest sorrow in life is to take the hard-earned money of your parents, learn things they don't understand, see the world they've never seen, experience the life they've never lived, only to judge them for their clumsiness or perceived mediocrity. When we were young, our parents protected us. As we grow older, it's our turn to protect them. Those who truly disdain you won't criticize you, they'll silently watch you lose your way. Relying on others is like digging your own grave. Understand this: under the shadow of a great tree, no grass can grow. While the tree provides shelter from storms, it also blocks you from seeing the sun. You can't change others, but you can change yourself. You can't control others, but you can master yourself. When your spirit becomes steadfast and you learn to live independently, your gaze will sharpen, and your thoughts will focus on self-improvement. That's when you'll realize you've been reborn, glowing like gold. An egg broken from the outside becomes food, an egg broken from within brings forth life. Life works the same way. Change from within signifies rebirth. As Wang Yongming once said, seeking externally keeps things the same, but seeking within makes each day a new beginning. The meaning of life doesn't lie in searching externally but in building internally. True growth doesn't come from advice or guidance from others, it comes from within. You are your own guide. When you can't find the answer, remember these 4 words: don't look outward. People call mice cunning for stealing rice but praise bees for collecting honey. What benefits us, we call good, what doesn't, we call bad. Life is full of perspectives and differing stances. A harsh yet realistic truth is this: you are valuable only when others need you. When they no longer need you, no matter how exceptional you are, you'll become irrelevant to them. After a few years of struggling in society, you'll understand that all relationships are fundamentally exchanges of value. If you lack value, even love and friendships can drift away. Never make decisions based on advice from those who don't bear the consequences. Sometimes, good things fall apart so better things can be built. Don't confuse those who are always around with those who are truly there for you. In life, your path is yours alone to walk. Only you can tread it. Don't waste energy trying to save someone who doesn't want to save themselves. What you do from morning to evening may only pay the bills, but what you do afterward builds your legacy. Be careful about the stories you tell yourself about your circumstances. A mind full of negative thoughts leaves no room for positivity. Those who say you can't are often the ones afraid you will. Your current life is the result of the choices you made last year. Your future will be shaped by the choices you start making today. Remember, sometimes the hardest things in life are the ones you need to hear the most. Experience is life's toughest teacher, it gives the test first and the lesson afterward. There will come a time when you must choose to turn the page, write a new book, or simply close it altogether. Addressing a problem without tackling its root cause is like taking one step forward and one step back. How you treat your body before 45 will determine how it treats you after. Wrong people often teach you the right life lessons. People say time changes everything, but in truth, you must change them yourself. Once you understand the power of your presence, you won't feel out of place anywhere. And remember, no one who's doing better than you will ever badmouth you. If you don't distance yourself from distractions, those distractions will distance you from your goals and the life you desire. If you find a path with no obstacles, it probably leads to nowhere. One of the fastest ways to improve your life is simply doing what you said you would do. Nothing is more painful than failing to learn from experience. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. Making mistakes and still failing is not weakness, it's life. No matter how many times you've heard it, there's always more to the story. You will anger many people when you do what's right for yourself. You can't cross the ocean without leaving the shore. You'll never remember the days and nights you spent at home doing nothing. Other people's opinions about you are not your reality. It's better to let them think you're foolish than to open your mouth and confirm it. Rejected expectations hurt more than rejected hopes. While fulfilled hopes make us happier than fulfilled expectations. You teach others how to treat you, whether consciously or unconsciously. There are many things that can scare us more than they can crush us. We often endure more in our imagination than in reality. Optimism is the belief that leads to success. Nothing can be achieved without hope and confidence. Your dreams should always be bigger than your current abilities to achieve them. If your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. The goal in life is not to become perfect but to become better than you once were. You are only one decision away from an entirely different life. You won't change your life until you change something you do daily. Adversity is not a detour, it's a part of the path. If you fuel your journey with other people's opinions, you'll run out of fuel. Move forward on your path, for it exists only when you walk it. Respect others even if they don't deserve it. Respect reflects your character, not theirs. If you want to nurture an issue, continue thinking about it. If you want to solve it, take action. The path to success and failure are often the same. Sometimes you need to be hurt to stay awake and focus on yourself. Most urgent things are important to others, not to you. As long as you think big. Only those who dare to go too far can discover how far they can go. Adversity brings out talents that lie dormant in times of prosperity. A decision is a sharp knife, it cuts clean and straight. Hesitation is a dull knife, it tears and leaves jagged edges. What you achieve by achieving a goal is not as important as what you become in the process. If you don't like the path you're on, start building another one. If you wait until you're ready, you'll wait forever. You have to fight through bad days to reach the best days of your life. The world is round, and what seems like an end can also be a beginning. With confidence, you've already won before you start. Don't get discouraged. The last key in the bunch often unlocks the door. If we all did what we are capable of, we would astound ourselves. Don't share with friends what your enemies shouldn't know. Expect little from others, expect much from yourself. That's the secret to a happy life. Don't rely on others to tell you how to be happy or what makes a good life. Maintaining positivity doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time. It means that even in tough days, you know better days are coming. Don't just love yourself, respect yourself. If you don't, others won't hesitate to walk all over you. Don't let anyone who hasn't walked in your shoes tell you how to lace up your shoes. The fastest way to succeed is to start right now and learn as you go forward. You can't learn to drive while the car is parked. The time you waste doesn't die but takes revenge. Don't fear moving slowly, fear standing still. We create fear by sitting idle and overcome it through action. You can lie down so others can walk over you, and they'll still complain you're not flat enough. Perhaps the path you fear most is the one you need to take. Don't fear doing things alone. Waiting for others may cause you to miss the wonderful things in life. When you can't find a solution to a problem, perhaps it's not a problem to solve but a truth to accept. You will never be rewarded for following someone else's rules. If you only do what you're capable of, you'll never surpass what you're doing now. When you work for others, you have labor rights, not ownership rights over what you produce. Big problems require awareness, and not every storm comes to destroy your life. Some come to illuminate your path sometimes. A kick in the teeth can be the best thing in the world for you. You are always stronger and have more resources than you think. There are two things to remember in life: take care of your thoughts when you are alone and take care of your words when you are with others. People only change for themselves. You don't need to force and break yourself to help them. If something can be fixed, why complain? If it can't be fixed, why complain? Everyone wants to skip hardship without realizing that it is where character is built. Failure is how life teaches us rules, especially the ones we don't want to learn. It's never easy, but it will get easier. If you are not prepared, you are preparing for failure. Some people are investments, and some are expenses. Know the difference. Every adversity, every failure, and every aching heart carries a seed of equal or greater benefit. You may choose the game you play, but you can't choose its rules. We can't live happily if we just wish the world adhered to rules we feel comfortable with. Don't make it too easy for others to access you, especially those who are only around when it's convenient for them. You don't notice your progress in life because you are constantly raising your standards. The human capacity for endurance is like bamboo, it is far more flexible than you think at first glance. When driving in the dark, you can only see as far as your headlights, but you can travel the entire distance with just that. A small amount of healthy skepticism exists in everyone. People's intentions are never entirely clear, even after being expressed. You're not crazy, you're intelligent. The problem is, you think you have time. Our wounds often open doors to the best and most beautiful parts of ourselves. If they don't know you personally, don't take it personally. Realizing you are not where you want to be is the starting point for changing your life. If you don't take their advice, why take their criticism? Sometimes, the smallest step in the right direction can be the biggest step in your life. If you have more than 3 priorities, then you don't have any. The wise learn from everything and everyone. The average learns from their own experience. The foolish think they have all the answers. Change is never painful, it is only the resistance to change that is painful. 20 years from now, you'll regret more the things you didn't do than the things you did. Maturity is when you stop complaining, blaming, and start changing. The first step to getting somewhere is deciding you're not going to stay where you are. Sometimes you have to lose everything to find your true self. You will face problems all your life, but you can choose whether they are recurring problems or not. Nothing is permanent in this world, not even our troubles. There is always hope, even when your mind says there isn't. Avoid negative people, they have a problem for every solution. Where there is destruction, there is hope for a new beginning. Don't fear because you don't have all the answers right away. You will learn through experiences and find your path to happiness. Don't fear the darkness. It only means there is a source of light nearby. Just because you dislike a chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the whole book. No regret can change the past, and no worry can change the future. We must accept temporary disappointments but never lose boundless hope. If you seek light, you often find it. But if you seek darkness, that's all you'll see. Start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Stand up, face obstacles, and do something about them. You'll find they aren't as powerful as you imagine. Don't let bad days make you think you have a bad life. The moment you want to give up is the moment you should push forward. Those who avoid failure also avoid success. No passion is found in playing small, accepting a life less than what you're capable of living. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. Don't burn yourself to keep others warm. Take care of your body, it's the only place you have to live. When you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. Don't lower your standards just because someone can't reach them. People don't think about you as much as you imagine. We don't leave someone to teach them a lesson, we leave because we've learned ours. You can't convince people to love you. No one will love you just because you want them to. True love moves freely in both directions. Don't waste time on anything less. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to goals, not to other people or things. You can win a lot in life just by being the last one to give up. More important than choosing the right is having the strength to leave what is wrong. Forgiving others in silence and never speaking to them again is also a form of self-care. People will forget what you said, forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Stop complaining about results you didn't get from work you didn't put in. If you stop looking at the world through a lens of what you like and dislike, and instead see its truth, you will find more peace in your life. You may be the only one left believing in yourself, but that's enough. As you progress, you may feel disappointed by those around you. To avoid this, be strict with yourself but forgiving toward others. When you begin to recognize your own value, it becomes harder to be around people who don't recognize it. Winners have failed more times than failures have tried. The issue is the cost of progress. Until you change your way of thinking, you will keep repeating your experiences. People don't get what they deserve. Tomorrow is a direct result of what you choose to do today. It's not who you think you are holding you back, but who you think you are not. You will ruin your life. If you try to please everyone, the strength comes not from what you can do, but from overcoming what you once thought impossible. Problems cannot be solved with the same level of thinking that created them. The more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in battle. Stop seeking happiness in the same place you lost it. To be the best, you must learn to handle the worst. If you care about what others think, you will always be their prisoner, waiting for a change without taking action, like waiting for a bus at a train station. If you constantly ask yourself if something is right for you, the answer is usually no. Confidence is not about entering a room and thinking you're better than everyone else, but entering without having to compare yourself to anyone. If you wait for something, all that happens is you grow older, buying something without checking the price first. Work without watching the clock, for there is only one thing more precious than our time, those we spend it with. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one life. If you were born into poverty, that is not your fault, but if you die in poverty, that is your fault. The past cannot be changed, forgotten, edited, or erased. It can only be accepted. Time is like a river. You can't touch the same water twice because the flow that has passed will never return. Your value is not determined by others' inability to recognize it. Don't make decisions based on fear. Make decisions based on hope. Your life will improve when you realize it's better to be alone than to chase people who don't truly care about you. The only person you should compare yourself to is your past self, and the only person you should strive to surpass is your current self. Life becomes more meaningful when you realize the simple truth that you'll never get the same moment twice. One of the most dangerous things you can do is believe someone else's opinion about you. Your relationship with others directly reflects your relationship with yourself. Tomorrow can be very different from today if you continue thinking about what didn't work today, and I promise you, your tomorrow won't be either. It's not about having time, but creating time. You can't always be good. That's how people take advantage of you. Sometimes, you have to set boundaries. Destroy the old version of yourself before it destroys you. Be selfish with your time, many people don't deserve it. Never be loyal to the point of betraying yourself. You can't have everything. You're always exchanging something for something else. The weak seek revenge, the strong forgive, and the wise let go. We are shaped by what we let go of, what we sacrifice, and what we refuse. You are only a reflection of the tastes and demands of those around you. If you don't decide who you are, others will decide for you. You grow in proportion to how much truth you are willing to accept about yourself without running away. There is always time. The question is, how long will you make excuses and pretend it doesn't exist? Life moves quickly. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you may miss it. The worst enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. You don't have to engage in every argument you're invited to. Don't discuss your past with anyone because only you know the true story and meaning of it. Others may not understand or even use it against you. Success and failure are abstract concepts that only exist in your mind before you take action, not after. The more grateful you are, the more beauty you will see around you. Life will become more generous, and you will be happier. Sometimes, you need to stop seeing the good in others and start seeing what they show you. If there's something you want to do in life, don't wait. Waiting might mean seeing years pass by while you do nothing. Most of your problems disappear and you start associating with smarter and more thoughtful people. Everything comes to you at the right time. Be patient and trust the process. You can't always help someone change for the better if they're unwilling to do so. There will come a day when you decide you can't do it anymore, and they clearly don't want to change. Just because you remember them doesn't mean you need them back in your life. The price of delay is the life you could have lived. Be careful with who you share your weaknesses with. Some people can't wait for an opportunity to use them against you. In solitude, a strong mind learns to rely on itself. Sooner or later, a two-faced person will forget which side is real. What you allow will continue. True friends become evident when you are at your lowest point. Live your life the way you want to live it, because even those who care for you can't be with you every step of the way. You will anger many people when you do what is right for yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Potential means you haven't done anything yet. Growth is realizing that playing an excessive role in someone else's life to prove your loyalty only shows that you undervalue yourself. Treat others the way they treat you. If you're lucky enough to get a second chance at something, don't waste it. Don't seek happiness in the place you've lost it. True strength is letting people miss you rather than begging for them to choose you. There's a reason some people are no longer in your life. This is truly a very valuable gift. Don't expect it from those who are cheap. Most people are only kind when things don't matter. Never be too kind to forget wisdom, and never be too wise to forget kindness. You will be alone during the toughest times of life. These moments will make you wiser, more mature, and fearless. Some people only care about you when you are doing something for them. When you begin to see your own value, it becomes harder to be around those who aren't truly grown. Growth is realizing that a relationship can't always work and isn't always fixable. No matter the situation, one wrong step can change everything. Don't lie. Don't deceive. Be honest and loyal. Don't belittle anyone's emotions. You never know how brave they were to share them. If you have more than 3 priorities, you don't really have any. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for someone else to die. You can't truly control someone's loyalty to you. You can do a lot for someone and still not be treated well. If you blame others, don't expect it to get better. One day, you'll have a clean, quiet home and a flawless car interior, and all you'll want is for those who messed it up to come home. Actions prove who someone truly is. Words only prove who they pretend to be. When you feel someone is pulling away from you, don't chase them. Be careful with good deeds. Kindness has limits, and some people can take advantage of your generosity. Your progress doesn't need to be seen or validated by others to be real. Expectations always hurt. Therefore, expect little or no expectations from others. Between being right and kind, choose kindness. Never take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. When you work for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. Someone without their own life will always try to create drama in yours. You can't lose what you never had. You can't hold on to what isn't yours, and you can't keep what doesn't want to stay in your life. Always give yourself a second chance. It's called tomorrow. Most people will deceive you if you give them at least half a chance. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. When you do what's right, others won't be sure you did anything at all. Don't burn yourself to keep others warm. The people who matter won't always know what's best for you, and the ones who do care may not always show it. Believe only half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. Never expect anyone to catch you when you fall, even if you've caught many when they fell. You can be friends with someone for years and take years to realize they were never your friend. Every end is also a beginning. We just don't know it at the time. We often overestimate what we can do in a year but underestimate what we can achieve in 5 years. Your past or childhood may be messy, but it's a great strength for your future. If it's out of your hands, it's also worth being free from your mind. Don't be afraid to start over. This time you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. The more responsibility you take, the more capable you are to truly do something about that pain. Friends and family don't always know what's best for you. Solitude is the price you pay for starting to improve yourself. Don't underestimate others. You never know when they might leave. You never realize how important someone is to you until they're gone. Judge people by their actions, and you'll never be deceived by their words. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try to paint a different picture. If you want to feel motivated to do something, take the smallest action to do it. You'll never remember the days and nights spent at home doing nothing. The hands that place themselves on your shoulders in tough times are more valuable than those who clap for you in moments of success. Forgiveness doesn't make the person who hurt you feel better, it makes you feel better. Accept everything as it is. Life isn't about living in the past or living for the future. It's about living in the present. The ones playing roles will eventually forget their scripts. Remember, you are always responsible for your actions, no matter how you feel. Honesty may not always give you many friends, but it will always give you the right ones. Learn to deal with others as they are, not as you want them to be. Even if you're good, if you're in the wrong place, you're worthless. Extraordinary results come from repeating ordinary actions over an extraordinary period. You can choose a happy, low-stress life, or you can choose a more challenging, meaningful life. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to take advantage of them, and strong enough to correct them. When you blame others for your problems, you're giving them control. You're allowing them to define and decide your happiness and comfort. People start hating you when they can't control you. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. Lessons learned from the video: hard to swallow life lessons that will be valuable for the rest of your life. The video emphasizes the importance of honesty, patience, and independence in your journey of self-discovery. The main takeaway from these excerpts is to accept your flaws, learn from your mistakes, and continually improve yourself. Additionally, not having high expectations of others and learning to treat people as they are will help build stronger, longer-lasting relationships. Kindness, forgiveness, and not letting anyone control your life are essential to finding happiness and meaning in life.